tune in if you want to hear. So we have Chad, Josh, Dmitri, and Marcus every Friday.
It's the Square Round Table.
Tune in.
It's the Square Round Table podcast. Let's have a blast. I know at work you had a long day. Just relax and tune in.
What's going on, my freaks and geeks? This is the Square Round Table podcast. I would first and foremost like to thank all of our viewers and listeners for joining us again for a very special episode. And tonight, guys, as you can probably already tell, we have a very amazing episode ready for you guys. Tonight, we have a very special guest, and honestly, he needs no introduction, but guess what? I'm going to give it to him anyway. So guys, we got rapper, actor, producer, singer. Literally tonight's guest, he quite literally does it all. So please give a warm Square Round Table welcome to our guest, Mr. Kyle Harvey AKA SuperDuperKyle.
Let's go.
Yeah. What's good? Welcome.
Hey, welcome. Yeah. Hey, thank y'all for having me. This is lit. I'm very excited to talk with y'all. Yeah. So thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for coming out, man.
Totally.
Oh, of course, man. Of course, man. Anytime, we're definitely glad to have you. And we're just going to jump right into it, man. The first thing I like to do for all of our viewers and listeners, I just like to do a little bit of an opener. So just to see how you're feeling and all that. I know stuff is crazy out here. We got a lot going on, but I just want to know, how have you been doing lately? How's the mental health? How's all that going, man?
Yeah. Man, it's going good. It's going good, bro. I feel it's almost when you ever go to the gym, right? And you have a crazy gym, like an experience, you're like, there's no way I was going to lift that. And by the time it's over, like you're so dead and ready to like throw up all that. I low-key just got out one of those. And now I feel as if you feel like The Rock after that. So currently, mental health wise, I feel like The Rock. I feel like I'm in.
Yeah.
It's the current place I'm in. Like, it's like you climb a mountain, you get up out of a valley, and you're like, damn, I'm really him. Wow.
I really am.
Yeah. Mentally, all
No,
right.
that's great to hear.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely understand how it is, man. You feel like that boy for sure.
Yeah, currently, yeah. On really just on some like wholesome mental health, like lifestyle stuff. You feel me? Because I feel like in life, when you go through something, that's almost like your greatest moment to just turn into a trash human being. You know what I mean? And when you don't, and when you get on the other side of that, if you didn't turn into some trash human being, you low-key need to pat yourself on the back for that.
Oh yeah.
On the lowest of keys,
definitely.
because you could have been just on Twitter just hating from fake accounts and shit. It could have got bad. When you choose not to take that,
That's cool. What's happening?
Nah, yes, sir. I definitely understand that, man. I talk to the guys about it a lot. Pretty much every podcast, we somehow find a way to get back into it. But over the past couple of years, man, everybody's been going through that thing. So I think for those of us that have come out the other side of it, man, and are trying to do positive things and still have a good outlook on life, even though stuff is just crazy out here, everybody deserves to pat themselves on the back for that, for sure.
facts. Hell yeah. Yeah, look, if you're not doing something terrible, pat yourself on the back. Just be like, hey. That's what it was.
That's what I'm saying. If you haven't robbed nobody today, pat yourself on the back, man, for sure.
There you go. Just give yourself one of these.
No, I did that. I really did that.
No, for sure, and also just patting yourself on the back, just doing the thing that you didn't think you'd be able to do. Because even just talking about like, this mental health stuff and whatever, we created this podcast when like all of us were. I can't speak for all of us, but we just partly why we created this podcast is just all the stuff that we were going on with just COVID and stuff, and and also the podcast just helped us just get through a lot of that stuff. Because for me specifically, it was a little hard, and the podcast definitely helped with a lot of that stuff. And it was something I didn't think I could do personally. And yeah, basically just that.
Same.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
One thing we just wanted to go ahead and hear from you, just to let the audience know, maybe some people that don't know, just let us know a little bit about your background, because we'll get into ours pretty much too. But we want to know first from you, where did you grow up? And as far as your like surroundings, how did that influence your style of music?
Yeah. So I grew up in California, in SoCal, and I lived in a pretty packed household. It was like me, both my grandparents, my mom, my aunt, my cousin, my brother, my little sister, like a ton of us, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I felt very early on, I learned how to be empathetic because everybody's emotional state matters. You feel me? Because they're like right there. There's not a case like that. And also I grew up in a really diverse family too, where like, how do I describe it? In kindergarten, when they got all the kids holding hands and shit, like, posted around the room, that's what my family portrait looked like. I had cousins that were from Wales, from Europe. I had cousins that were Japanese. Obviously, me and my brother and my sister, we were black, and it was like a black portion of the family in there too. And then I had cousins from like Arkansas and like Missouri. So I was introduced to the concept of there just being a lot of different people and they're still your family, like very early. And I feel like that kind of always kept me open to new things and new ideas and like new cultures. Like I remember being a little kid and my Aunt Costco and like my cousins bringing over Hello Kitty shit, and I was like seeing that for the first time and being like, "Yo, this is fire! Look at this duck. He looks so just nonchalant. He don't give a fuck about anything." Like, I just thought it was cool. Lunch boxes and shit, and it was just really. I was trying to be really worldly, like really young, because I wanted to get to know more about all of my like family, and also I don't know, like California is just a place like growing up here. I feel like it's really easy to like not appreciate how beautiful it is. And as a little kid, because I'm focused on more like other places in the world, I just was in love with like the nature and shit here and like the beach and just doing that whole thing. And it just shaped music that wanted to make people feel as happy as I felt every day and as blessed and as grateful as I felt every day. And damn, I'm giving like a long, big ass background, but
no, you're good.
Oh, you're good, bro.
Man. Keep going.
Yeah.
Really what happened was like when I was in high school, I always lived with that whole unit of a family, right? And then when I was in high school, I used to rap about like guns and bullshit and selling packs I did not have. I didn't know how to rap a pack.
I think everybody went through that phase.
Yeah, like maybe I could figure out how to buy it, but to sell it, I have no clue. I don't know who won it. You know? Like, that's like the type of rap. My favorite rapper was Jadakiss. I wanted to just be the fucking fourth member of the Locks. And I remember randomly in high school, we had this like traumatic thing where my grandpa like passed away. And since he was just like the man of the house type of shit. And so, but it's like my mom's dad and my aunt's dad and my grandma's husband. So all the grown-ups that you usually look to for that stability were all actually going through the toughest moment in their life too. So it's like a really bleak place for a second. And I remember I started doing this shit where I was just like talking to myself in the mirror, trying to just big up myself and say like today is going to be amazing type shit, because you couldn't really get that other lift from the other people because they're all suffering. So I started trying to just make this shit up out of thin air, and I heard from YouTube that you could do that. And so I started really trying to do it, and it started working. And I would show up to high school like high-fiving people and shit, and then like just giving out compliments. You get a compliment, like to everyone. And it started building this thing where I saw it like coming back to me, and it started. My days at school were amazing because people just wanted to say nice shit to me because I was saying it to them. And I learned how to cultivate this like happy attitude in a really non-happy situation. And that's when I felt like, okay, my mission in music is going to be like a superhero who is coming to save your vibe, like at all times. That kind of became the mission. Like I really became SuperDuperKyle, and I felt like nothing could be down. And that sort of set me on and it was the artists I was listening to, like Kid Cudi and Big Sean and like all the people at that time. And I wanted to be like them so much. And I felt like their music was helping people. And I was like, oh, music is low-key medicine. And with medicine, you can save people. And so that's what I'm embarking on to do. I'm like about to be SuperDuperKyle and fucking save the world or some shit. I don't know what it was, but that was sort of where that started.
That's crazy. I got a Cuddy story. It's not really a story. It's just like a memory. Cause I remember when he first came out. I think I was like a freshman in high school. I want to say. I think so. And I used to listen to him, and people was clowning me for listening to Cuddy because they was like, "Man, why you listening to that weird music, bro? It's weird." And I was like, "Oh no," I was like, "I just feel it. It feels good to me." So when you said that, I was like, "Dang, that's crazy that you named Cuddy," because a lot of people don't say Cuddy when they talk about rappers. They don't give him his credit. But hey, man, Cuddy took me on a ride in high school, and
yeah, no, for real. Come on. Sorry, not to interrupt. It was breaking up a little
no,
bit.
you good. You good, bro.
Yeah, man. No, what Kid Cudi's credit is, he definitely deserves more credit. And I always feel like this with music, and me personally with music. I feel like music is more important than numbers or this or that. Music is actually about leaving a lasting impact on somebody. And so,
yes.
For example, if you're Kendrick Lamar and every time you drop an album, it changes somebody's life type shit, your impact is so much more crafting than like somebody who maybe is just doing a bigger show or gets more streams or some shit like that. Because at the end of the day, when you start talking about who's your GOAT, that's what you're going to remember. You're going to remember how they made you feel. You're going to remember that ride that you went on in 9th grade or whenever you were really slapping that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I fuck with that tape, fam.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Also, you can also just go back to that artist that made you feel like this, put you in a really good, just a really good headspace if you are in like a really bad mood or something. I think everybody has like that one song that just always makes them feel good by like that one artist.
Yeah.
Nah, man, for sure. Like I always go on the record, and I know Dimitri's get tired of it, but I say that my taste in hip hop completely comes from Dimitri's, because I'm gonna rewind it all the way back to like 2010, 2011. Like before then, and I watched a couple of interviews with you, Kyle. Not too much because I didn't want to spoil anything, but me and you in a way are not too dissimilar, because like when I grew up, not really too much hip hop was like played in my house. My mom, she was big on like rock and roll. My dad liked rock music, and they like gospel. So growing up, that's pretty much what we listened to. And going up through high school and all that kind of stuff, like they played Kanye on the radio. I was cool with Kanye. They played Drake. I was cool with that. But I was still like heavily like on my rock and roll stuff. Not until I went to college. Like Demetrius was my first roommate when we went to school together at Fort Valley. And like when I met, so when we went to school, we went to school together, and he pretty much gave me my whole like taste in music, like from Gambino to Logic to Chance the Rapper, and even your music as well, man. In the late great Mac Miller, like all of that good stuff. That stuff really spoke to me, and like when I heard that, it just opened me up to like hip hop in general, because I liked it, but I didn't really love it. But when Demetrius gave me that playlist, man, it was over with from there. So I say all that to say, you talk about the music that you were into that really got you into hip hop like that. You pretty much were that for me. Having you on the podcast is
definitely full circle.
Hey, man. Hey, thank you, bro. Hey, thank you. What's crazy is I just recently went to a DreamCon for the first time, and I've known RDC and them for a minute, but this was the first one I went to. And I was overwhelmed with like how many like-minded people there were, like not only in the world, but especially at this one convention, who all had that appreciation for me, and they were all into the same shit I was into. It's almost, I feel like sometimes when you're, for better or worse, blurred your whole life and you're into this shit, sometimes it's hard to find that community in real life. And that shit was wild because they were there. They were everywhere, every one of them. It was just sick. I felt like I was being embraced by my own community. So even you saying this is a full circle moment for y'all is cool. Because I feel like my whole life I'm like, where the fuck are y'all? Like, that was cool. Like hearing these interviews and shit is really cool. So it was like a shocking experience for me. I was like telling like Mark and them that bro, this shit is like a culture shock having that whole community in one place. It's like a dream come true. You low-key been looking for that shit. Yeah.
Yo,
It's cool, man.
yeah. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, no problem, and yeah, it's literally like that, and that's how I felt. I know the guy felt the same way because we talk about it all the time. When you like Marvel, or you like anime, or you like a certain type of music, especially growing up, it's hard to find that. But it's cool when you become an adult and oh wow, these guys were here the whole time. Everybody was just in hiding, you know.
Yeah.
Nah, it's
Yeah.
They've
it's
literally been there the whole time. Like you just looking for a fucking once you become an adult, it's almost like y'all can mobilize. You can straight up conventions and shit. Like
Straight up.
exactly.
It's like somebody shined the bat signal and everyone was like, let's go. And everyone just showed up at an event or whatever like that. And we're like, yo, we've been here all the time.
Nah, for real.
Yeah.
I know, it's so crazy. I'm actually looking forward to trying to go to more conventions and shit this year even or next year. I just need a list. I need like a proper list of all the fire ones because I'm really trying to hit them all. Like,
Yo, we got you, man. You gotta Dmitri he's in Cali. There's some good ones in California as well. But bro, you gotta come to the A. You gotta come to
I
Atlanta.
would say you gotta come down here, man.
Oh yeah.
wait,
yeah.
to the A? Okay.
Yeah.
They got one over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got
Yeah, no,
we got
we got
two.
all types of stuff.
Like Momo
Yeah,
and
so-
Dragon Con, right?
Yeah,
Momo and
Our
Dragon
biggest
Con.
ones are like MomoCon and Dragon Con. Yeah.
Hey, we writing these down, yo.
So
Yeah, it's crazy though, Kyle, because MomoCon was in May, but Dragon Con like literally starts today. That's this Labor Day weekend.
Oh.
That's like the biggest one
Oh wait,
in Atlanta.
you broke up. When is Dragon Con?
It starts this weekend, I
it's
think,
this
right?
week. Yeah, it's
No,
this
this week.
Labor. It's always Labor Day. Labor
Oh.
Day weekend.
Shit, I'm gonna go get on a flight. I'm gonna see y'all in a
oh
Oh,
man.
man.
Damn, I wish I would have.
But no worries, man. We will yeah, we'll definitely give you a list, man, because we know about all of them. So we got you on the list. No problem.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. But one thing I wanted to ask, were you gonna go ahead, Josh? What you got to say, bro?
Oh yeah, basically I was just saying as far as blurs and stuff. I remember being in high school because at my high school, like all the kids that just like video games and anime, we all hung out on the same table. Like all of us were on this one particular table, and we would all listen to Gambino and Kyle. Like there was a table of folks that just listened to Gambino and Kyle. And just rappers that just talked about just like video games and stuff, and we would all be there with our DSs and our PSPs. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yo, I love that. I love that community was even happening because I feel like when I was in high school, bro, like all that anime shit and stuff, it's almost like you had to keep it to yourself. Like you knew about it, but you
For real.
making your little drawings and shit. So the fact that they were just that y'all were just coming together, bro, just oh my god. Could shed a thug tear right
now. We were out there. We would literally we would all gang up in one place and we all be like blasting just like nerd rap, and we just have our PSPs and our DS and just like drawing stuff like that.
What the fuck I'm talking about?
Yeah, it was crazy.
You know what though? I tell Josh all the time, Cal, that we had to crawl so they could walk.
Come on.
Exactly. Especially you, Marcus, because you're like the oldest person here, bro.
You're super old, man.
Don't listen to
Marcus,
them, Kyle. I'm not that old.
Bro. Hey, Marcus, they want to understand. We had to put in the legwork, bro. You know what I'm saying? We had to lay the foundation.
I'm telling you.
So that this house.
Yes. Yeah.
So Kyle, we've been talking about nerd stuff, you know what I'm saying, like comics, video games, superheroes. So we got to know, man, we putting you on the spot now.
Favorite video game? I'll start there. My favorite video game of all time. Whoo! That's just crazy. There's so many to pick from, but I think just impact on myself and my creativity, Final Fantasy X. Best video game franchise.
Okay.
Like Final Fantasies, bro, are so detailed, in especially that game specifically just helped me build an identity of what a hero is and how you can be a hero and do it in like a fun way. So I feel like that just had an impact on me. It's like him literally battling sin. You know what I'm saying? It's just so fire. And also the other crazy details that impressed me about Final Fantasy is and they've been making those games for decades, and every single game is coming with an entire new universe, new story, new and the amount of detail that goes into those games to whip that up every time, bro, is mind blowing. I love Zelda, right? Zelda Ocarina of Time is maybe the GOATest video game ever. And
yeah.
Even with all its awesome, a lot of the lore and the situations and shit can be not piggybacked, but just like the world can remain the same. These motherfuckers are making a brand new everything every time.
Every time.
It's crazy. Yeah. And then favorite Marvel movie? My favorite Marvel movie is I think my favorite Marvel movie is the first Iron Man. I didn't really know too much about Robert Downey Jr. before that movie. And I didn't really know that much about him. And my first experience with watching Iron Man 1 was like, this might be the most interesting dude I've ever heard talk. And now I didn't even really know, I wasn't that familiar with the story of Iron Man. I knew who Iron Man was. I picked him all the video games and shit. I watched some episodes of some cartoons with him in it, but I wasn't even really super familiar with the story of Iron Man. And so my first dose of like diving into Iron Man is with Robert Downey Jr. doing this iconic performance of a role and me getting like to really discover who Iron Man is through that movie. So that's my favorite Marvel movie. And then what was the other one?
Anime.
Anime, yes.
Anime. Okay. Anime. That one's hard. Are movies included or is it just shows?
Yeah, movies too.
How about show and movie? Like I'll give you like a little bit of a
All right, cool. All right. My favorite. I'll do show first. My favorite anime show is Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah,
yes.
It's my favorite. Let's go. It's my favorite because
let's do it.
And it's one of the reasons why I'm inspired to make an anime and move into the animation space eventually. The reason I'm inspired to do that is because I used to watch that show as a little kid. And in this current time in my life or whatever, it was just like, sometimes it'd be a happy household, sometimes it'd be an angry household. And I watched people walk around with anger, using it like it was their power. It was what got them what they want type shit. And through watching the story, which is a cartoon for kids, think about how crazy this is. I love SpongeBob and all that too, but it's like sometimes that shit's not going to give me this deep of an emotional lesson. And and I'm watching this show, and I remember at the end, he's finally, actually is just this pissed off kid. And he's like using his pissed offness to walk him through life, which could have been me. I could have been that kid. I had all the reasons to want to be that person. And at the end, when he finally when he realizes that when he operates from love, he's twice as strong as when he operates from anger. That's a deep ass message. And that shit has like a profound impact on shaping me as a person. And it's subconscious. Like I'm emotionally intelligent enough to know the meaning behind it, but really it's doing a bunch of subconscious work. So I'm really just watching them spirit gun motherfuckers all over the place looking cool. But really it's teaching me, you know what I mean? Like a sick lesson. So I would say Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite anime show. And then my favorite anime movie is between either Akira or Perfect Blue. And it's hard to choose. It's hard to choose because they're both fucking really epic. You know what I mean? Perfect Blue just blew my mind. I still don't know today. It's one of them Christopher Nolan things where you just don't fucking have the answers at the end. You really don't have the answers to that. I only watched it a million times. Like I watched it a million times. I don't have the answer. I don't know. I really don't know. It could be a multiple of things. Like, you know, maybe she is actually insane. Maybe all of that shit was happening. Like I can't tell you who the killer was, really. I have like multiple theories on who the actual killer is. Yeah, but that and Akira.
Yeah, Yu Hakusho is my go-to show. If I'm like feeling down, I throw the Yu Hakusho and I can binge it from start to finish anytime. I love the Yusuke. And then Kuwabara, man, the fight with him and Toguro, like when he walked up there and went out like that, I was like, okay. And he unlocked his Yusuke potential in that fight.
Honestly, I fucked
that
with
was dope.
Yeah,
Say again?
that was crazy. That whole tournament, she was wild. One of the parts that I was like really fucking almost hurt in a way. Oh fuck, this shit, man. This shit is like I'm attached to that show for an emotional reason.
Yeah.
When he pulls back up as a ghost and he sees his mom just down bad, and he's just
oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's sort of like crying over everything, and he doesn't really feel like he's even remotely that. He's almost like, why the fuck are you crying for me? I'm a piece of shit. Like.
pretty much,
Man.
yes.
I don't know. Yeah. Because I'll watch some animes that just got no action going on, bro. Let's just get deep. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Man.
No, that anime has the best tournament arc of all time, and that's not even close. Like, nothing comes close to that tournament arc overall. Like those episodes for each character and each person they fought had like their own motivation and stuff like that, and their own reasons. There was nobody that you were just like, okay, these people. I guess there were a couple people you were just like, okay, these are bad people, but like everyone had some kind of reason why they wanted to do it. That was cool. They really like rooted for like both people.
Yeah, no, it was like real skin in the game, like you versus us kind of shit. It was dope.
Now I would say for me the best anime that has, like you said, no action, just like straight up deep like drama is Death Note for me.
Yes. Yeah, Death Note is great.
Death Note is great. Death Note just really pits you against your own mind. Fuck, what would I do if I was in that situation?
Right.
You know? Dude is a lunatic. He himself.
He's crazy. He's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Even the world from all the fucking criminal. This motherfucker is out of his mind. And it just makes me feel like the One Ring type shit. If I got that, would I turn into that? Would I be trying to correct the world of all its evils?
Like, I don't know.
No, man.
It's a tough one because I think I'm a pretty level-headed person, but we're talking like absolute power. You know what I'm saying? That's rough. That's a hard one.
Yeah, we're talking about you write their name in there.
Somebody to make you mad one day. I was saying.
I know.
I was gonna say somebody would make you down one day. You would just be like, I can't do that. And then they would double down on Instagram or something. You'd just be like, forgive me, God. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna just be like, I'm gonna just write the first initial down. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna put the first and the last initial. That's it. And that's it. And then you just go back and write the whole name. I swear.
Bro, if you're gonna dive in, you might as well just dive in, bro. You might as well just dive in, bro. Full name, address, all that shit. Look at all that.
For real. You'd be like, yeah, maybe if I put like the first 2 letters of their name, they might just end up in the hospital.
Or just nothing just happens. You just get it out of your system.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
But I like that. Did you guys watch Chainsaw Man?
Oh yeah, I watched Chainsaw Man. Yeah, I've seen the
totally
anime.
need to.
Yeah. I've heard it
gnarly.
That shit's fire.
It was good.
It is though. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, fight sequence is amazing. Intro music, fire. Circumstances like pretty cool too. If I was currently right now just super down bad, I would connect somehow because bro's just living in a world where they don't give a fuck about him
at all.
And at all. They don't give a damn. Almost like in a more fucked up, like a way more fucked up version of a Black Clover situation where you are the bottom of the totem pole, bro.
Hey, Black Clover.
Yeah, Black Clover. I like that one too. But yeah, the action sequence is amazing and the storyline is super sick. You definitely check it out. Chainsaw Man, it's going hard.
Yeah, check out Hell's Paradise.
Hell's Paradise?
Yeah, that's one of the newer ones. It's in the same kind of area as Chainsaw Man, and I forget what the other one is, but Chainsaw Man. It's in the same kind of area. It's
fine.
I don't want to spoil too much about it, but it's really good.
Okay.
Like, it has a
I'm gonna
really
check it
good
out.
setup.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah, you checked out Demon Slayer yet?
Definitely. Nah, I watched Demon Slayer because my little brother. So my little brother is like 11 or 12, like 11 or 12, and he came over to my house and was just like, "We're watching Demon Slayer," and I was like, "Okay, go ahead and put it on, bro." Hours later, I'm sitting up, Chris asking him for. Why would he do that? Why? He's like, I don't know. You just gotta keep watching. So I'm not all the way finished with these, but I started watching it and I really fucked with it randomly because I kind of majority of my anime taste is I want people animated a little more maturely, like skinnier faces, taller. Not so. This is everything is just so compact and the right word isn't childish, but you get what I mean. More
Yeah.
Like cartoony.
Yeah, exactly, cartoony. Because like my favorite animes are 90s ones like Ghost in the Shell and shit like that, and that have crazy cinematography. You know, Cowboy Bebop, like how everything looks insane. So I didn't think Demon Slayer was gonna be something that necessarily caught me. And then my little brother put it on and just hours and hours. I'm like, damn, this is actually pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it gets lit. They be boxing for sure.
No, for
it's
real.
good.
Like they do. Yeah, but no, man, Marcus up there being quiet because the only anime he ever watched is Dragon Ball.
No.
Hey, Dragon Ball is okay. It's a good anime.
No.
Don't.
Need to put my boy Marcus on.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I've seen. He just named all the ones that I watched because I got introduced to it in the late 90s, like with Toonami, and then Blockbuster used to have a section in the store with old anime movies and stuff. So I seen Cowboy Bebop, Ghost in the Shell, a little bit of Akira. What else did I see? A lot of them I don't even remember what they were called. I just remember like how they looked and stuff. If I see something on Instagram, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. And stuff like Gundam, Big O.
Yeah, Gundam is fire.
The first one though that I can actually remember like ever seeing for the first time was Inuyasha because my cousin she used to work at Turner and she used to sneak some of the videotapes, the VCRs from there, and she brought a VCR of that, but it just said Samurai X on it, and I was like, cool, I fucks with samurais, so I was like, I'm gonna check it out. And then that was like my gateway into it. But as far as a lot of the new stuff, I'm like really behind on all that because I stopped.
We gotta catch Marcus up. We gotta catch him up because he watches mostly the old school stuff. Yeah, but no, because what's another one? Dragon Ball.
Hey, you know what? I like teeter. I like teeter that line a lot. Like where there's a lot of new shit I really don't know about, and it's only because in my spare time, it's damn, do I want to get hip to all this new shit, or do I just want to go watch like a Miyazaki movie and just fall asleep to paradise? Right? It's hard, and some of those old ones, like the cinematography from those old '90s animes, is so crazy that you see them pop up and again in the most Oscar-winning movies, stolen straight up, stolen shots, like shit. And that shit will win an Oscar. And they were just on some shit cinematography time. I feel like cinematography was in that time. Everything that shit and goes she gets up and walks the door and goes in. And then oh my god, bro, it's crazy.
No, for sure. Yeah. The old stuff is the new stuff isn't like the old stuff. It's not. Like it's a different vibe for sure.
No, aesthetically, nah.
Yeah. The new school stuff isn't. The vibe is totally different from the old school stuff for sure.
Yeah, Josh, stop trying to call me out all the time, man.
I'm just buttering your toast. Just buttering your toast.
But I was just gonna comment on what you said, Kyle, because for one, I'm a big film nerd and buff because that's what I went to college for all that stuff, so that's why I love some of the older anime too because of the cinematography. And like you said, like people like Christopher Nolan and other like directors actually stole like actual shots and used them in their films. So I think that's what drew me more towards the older stuff is how it visually and aesthetically looked. And I think that's why I hang on to it a little bit more than the new stuff. I definitely can get that.
Yeah, man. Nah, I feel the same way, bro. It just looks so pretty to look at. But then sometimes you want some action sequences that are OD exciting, and you want some really insane effects. And I feel like also more than that, I think that another thing to give credit to with like new anime is their emotional arcs and shit are insane. Like the level of betrayal you felt like Attack on Titan when they find out like it was them. You're like some of the old animes weren't able to set shit up that crazy when it comes to just like the like arc of the story. Like their shit is always so like, how do I say it? They talk about when writing something like you want to make the stakes as high as possible. When you think the stakes are high, make them even twice as high as that. I feel like a lot of new anime is really good at making sure the stakes are insane. Yeah. Even if it's not insane off rip, at some point the stakes get, we're gonna lose for sure. Like in Demon Slayer, every time they're fighting, I'm like, they're gonna lose. It's gonna lose. And they somehow prevail, but that's like what keeps you on that hook for so many episodes.
Yeah, but no, yeah, totally. Because like the craziest stakes I've seen is like but it's almost like the stakes are so high, it's almost comical. Like the stakes in Dragon Ball Z or in Dragon Ball Super, like they're just like, yeah, beat this guy. They're just like, yeah, either you beat me or I'm gonna destroy your entire world. Like literally, I'm just like that's like the craziest stake.
No, I think the most like redonkulous stakes are like, because back when we were kids, like I grew up with like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff, and those are like the craziest stakes. It's like this whole entire card game, you know, if you lose it, the whole world is gone, and you're like, dang.
All right, like, what do I do with that? Like, what do I do with this information?
Right?
Yeah, that is a crazy stake because only the entry to like Goku knows. Yeah, bro, I gotta save the world, bro. For the majority of the time, he knows I gotta save the world. That shit is a crazy stake because imagine like some 8-year-olds buying some cards at Target, and next thing you know, it's them versus them trying to save the world. They want to cry, bro. They want to cry, go talk to the mom. They don't want to do that,
bro. I'm all of 13. What do you mean that if I lose, the world is going to explode?
Little ass kid, bro. Like, why are you trying to smoke me over these cards? Like.
It's trash. It's trash.
And then they do staked really well in that too, because they'll be like, "Oh, you beat me, but I got a better card on top of that. You thought you had this." I'm like, "Geez, man, just stop."
Yeah,
that's tough.
They'll fucking trap charge your ass to death. Motherfucker draw pot of greed 45 times. You're just like, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, Kyle, we talked about a lot of good stuff, like how you got into music, a lot about your background, especially talking about what we're into, like as far as anime and movies and all that good stuff. But I want to get back to you as far as your music, man. At what point did you really feel like you came into yourself as a rapper? Because honestly, you said that you knew what you wanted to do when you came into the game, but obviously being new to that world of hip hop, there's obviously some ebbs and some flows. So at what point did you really feel like you came into your own?
I actually have a really poignant like place that I remember of, this just happened. And I've always been good at writing music. I started writing music. My earliest memories are me singing and shit in the backyard since I was like 4 or 5 years old. But I wasn't ever really writing a bunch of rap stuff like that until I started hanging out with my dad more and kicking it with my dad all the time. Because my dad was a really good rapper. And then so I learned how to do it really well then. I was 9 and 10 going up to skate land and just battling grown men and just cooking them because I was just good at it. But I didn't really know how to put my true identity in it. And so I was like 10, 11, being able to sing, write these 3-minute long rap songs, like battle hell with people. But none I ever recorded really slapped ever. There was no slap in any of my songs, not one. You know what I'm saying? And it's because I didn't really know who I was yet. And I didn't know how to take who I am, which is me now, and express it and put it in songs and be funny and be silly and just be who I really am. I remember when I was like 16, I was recording a freestyle of the Lemonade beat because Big Sean had did it and I wanted to do it. And at one point in the thing, I said something funny and I just laughed when I was recording it. And I paid attention to it. I was like, oh, that part right there, there was a little bit of just honesty there. It was like my normal voice. Because I didn't used to rap with like my normal ass voice. And then I started realizing, oh, this song slaps for some reason. And it's because I was talking about shit I really did and using my own real voice. And that's when I feel like, yeah, it's on YouTube now. You can check it out. I think it's Lemonade's SuperDuperKyle. And then I was like, oh, I know kind of how I can express myself in rap songs and be honest about it. Because before it was just, I'm telling you, bagging up dimes and loading the AK, bro. Loading the chop. So stupid, bro.
Not loading the chop.
Bro, loading the chop, bro. Like, over crazy ass beats. Many men. Ain't nobody out there currently after me, bro. I ain't got no props. I don't have it. Who am I talking about?
Folks like, yo, this dude scary with it, man. You heard about Lil Gun?
Bruh, yeah. And yeah, it was around then. I feel like I came into my own as a rapper. I was like, and that's when I wanted to be SuperDuperKyle after that. Like, my first rap name was trash, yeah. It was real bad. Real bad.
First name, it was KID, right? That was your first rap name?
I want to say that was, yeah.
Sorry, what was it?
Oh,
it was KID, right? That was your first rap name?
Yeah.
KID is when it got good. KID is when it got good. KID set up, that was the transition from like the Jadakiss gun shit to SuperDuperKyle. Was that whole time is KID. All that was when I became myself. And then by the time I was ready to just do like the Kyle thing, it's like I had Beautiful Loser done. I just knew the direction. I was like, okay, I'm about to just go be myself now. But my first rap name was Kid Cash with 2 D's for no reason, just KID, like 2 D's, and then KA money sign H was my full ass rap name. Man.
So that was all of 2008 in that name right there, all of it. Kid Cash. 100%.
All of it. All of that.
All of it.
Just KID, just bro. You feel me? With the top, bro. Top loaded up.
Yo, so what does KID stand for? What does that stand for?
So I had a couple different ones I would jump to when I was making each song, but most commonly it was just Kyle is determined was my full like thing behind that name, because at that point I was really just, you just ain't got shit, you feel me? And you also have no motion, no buzz, no nothing, no fans. And I feel like the only thing that was gonna get Kyle through this was determination. So it was Kyle is determined.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Cool. Actually, yeah, one of my favorite KID songs, and it's like it caught my ear immediately because I want to say like Hate is like the best use of an Emojin Heat like song ever. I swear. Was that your idea to use that sample from Hate?
Yeah, because I was getting to go to this like nice studio for the first time. There was one in Oxnard. Shout out Ted Lopez, and I was able to like use it. And I went in there and I had that beat and I just played it, and it was either I played it or it was Ted. One of us were just like, somehow I heard it on these loud ass speakers, and I was like, whoa, this thing is now for real. It struck a chord with me, like where I could feel like so many things at once. And then I just went through a really like insane week. And yeah, I was like, I'm about to just get on here and fucking. The reason the song is called Hate is because I just feel like it's like that, whatever that feels like, all that sadness, all that like anger on that song, all of that love too, really, because you only hate somebody. You can only really hate somebody that you once loved or something. I would never hate a stranger. I'd just be like, fuck that person. But hate is something different. And yeah, it was just like a lot of shit. And I was like, and when it was done, I was like, oh, this is hard. Being vulnerable is hard, y'all. That's just fine. That's like figured out.
No, understood, man. It was definitely felt because when I heard it, I was like, I sent it to D immediately. I was like, bro, this thing slaps. This song is hard, man. So like, no, yeah, that thing is tough. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, you know what's funny? I
tough.
got a funny Clams Casino story that I got dropped. It's not even about the producer. Not really. I was shooting a movie called Cherry, and it was starring like Tom Holland and Michael Gandolfini, and we went to this Italian restaurant because the Russos are like on the Italian vibes, and so we're in there, and then Michael Gandolfini, my homie Michael, was like, "Oh yeah, they're like bringing out like Clams Casino or some shit." Somebody had mentioned that Clams Casino was on the way. And I was like, no way, Clams Casino? No way, bro, you're lying. And they're like, why the fuck are you so excited? Calm down. And I was like, bro, Clams Casino, bro. You're talking about a legend. And they're like, who are you talking about? And I was like, bro, Clams Casino, the producer, made all the most epic ass beats. And they were like, Kyle, Clams Casino is a food dish. It's fucking something you eat. Yeah, I had no clue. It happened in just the most Italian setting. It was funny. Bro.
They were like, "This dude really likes this dish. Okay, get more of it. That's fine."
I was so hyped to eat that food.
But nah, man, that's crazy. Like I've literally had a couple of moments like that. So I get how it is. It wasn't in front of like Tom Holland or anything, but yeah, I've definitely had some moments for sure,
man. Yeah. Hey man. Nobody bats 1,000. You feel me? Nobody bats 1,000.
No, never. But that actually goes into my next question, Kyle, because I wanted to ask you, just like from the outside looking in, like I think more now than ever before, like with the power of like social media and things like that, we see just a little peek of what it is for people that are in the music industry, for people that are entertainers, even to have this situation right now. You know, technology is the reason we're able to even converse now. But I wanted to know, like, from your perspective, how did you feel about the music industry in general, and what kind of made you want to be independent?
What made me how I feel about the music industry right now is, and then I'll get into what made me want to go independent, because I feel like they'll flow together. The music industry currently is literally a self-ran situation for the most part. And what I mean by that is, yes, songs go viral on TikTok, right? And they blow up. And yes, some kids just film themselves with a selfie video doing it, and it happens. That's one instance of, no, literally you can make yourself blow up, right? On the other hand, labels and major labels and stuff, they do have dedicated teams of really smart people spending a lot of money to do all the things to keep you visible, right? And you see that happen a lot.
Right.
But also, the music industry is in this weird place where it's not really about, it is about one person cultivating an entire audience around them via this thing. That's it. Because even that same dude that's maybe not going viral on TikTok, got no songs that are even got more than 10 million plays, right? None goes on TikTok, but yet they can maybe tap in with their fan base so crazy on social media through pictures or through whatever, that they can go tour and do 4,000 tickets a night. And it's who's more popping, the person with the viral ass TikTok song or the person who's doing 4,000 tickets? Like, how do you, it's just hard to gauge success in the music business right now. But, it's hard. Like, you don't really know. Like, some people, maybe all their shit goes viral on TikTok, but none of it streams. And it's more like maybe it's going viral because they are just entertaining and their videos are fun to look at, but it's not like the song is fun to play. You get what I mean? Like, all these numbers that you would think equates to success, like the numbers are just bullshit. They're hard. And the only numbers that are not bullshit are ones when your song has like a couple 100 million streams. That's not bullshit. People love that song. But at the same time, that doesn't even guarantee that you yourself can go do a popular show, because maybe the fans of that song or that piece of content don't go buy tickets. It's just weird. It's in this really weird place where nobody can dictate what is and what is not successful, like for the majority of artists. And so the reason I wanted to go independent is because I feel as if the majority of the work and me picking that path that I'm going to go down, okay, and I've had success in all of them. It's okay, I'm going to go down hit song lane. Okay, I'm going to go down radio lane. All right, I'm going to go down underground, like emotional lane. Okay, I'm going to do some shit for the nerds or whatever. Like, I've participated in a lot of different spaces, and the fucking through line and all of that was just this. It's just this. It's literally, it's just this phone. And yeah, it's just a strange place, man. The music. So I wanted to go independent because I knew that too. And as an independent artist, you keep a larger pie of all of the money being made off of your hard work. And when you're the major, they can have all the resources in the world, spend all the money, do the whole thing, and still shit maybe just doesn't even pop at all. You know what I mean? But you're giving them whatever does come from it. I've just been around long enough, and I have a notable name enough, and people that fuck with me for some shit I did way before I ever got with the major label, that I was like, I can sit around, work on this phone like me and every other artist in the world has to do, even if they think they don't, and end up keeping the actual profits made from that in a much larger way. Because it's just the truth. At the end of the day, it's the truth. You got to promote yourself online, and you got to use whatever app is popping at the time to do, right? Everybody like just kind of, it's one of those things where it's like, remember back in the day, when music videos came out, there was a bunch of musicians and shit that were like, I'm not going to do a music video. The music is supposed to be for music, and videos are videos. That's like what the little kids do. And you see how stupid that sounds now? That's how people act. That's how people act with making a Patreon and making a TikTok and making it this and they act like it's beneath music. And it's no, it is technology, and it's going to run. It always changes the time. At one point, motherfuckers just, thought like, I don't know, right? Like movies were supposed to be silent. Like, no, words are for the radio and movies are for
exactly. Exactly.
And so I feel like that's where the music industry is right now. It's just a lot of content creation. There's just a lot of videos, and you yourself need to make them because you need so many of them. So where the fuck it's at?
So with that being said, do you think that like TikTok is and things like that have helped like artists like yourself?
No, I don't think it's necessarily helped. I think if anything, it's just added more people to the mix. This has been awesome. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, totally. No problem. Yeah, man. Sure.
Yeah, we appreciate you for coming out, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Let's go. Community, yo, we're fucking here. I didn't know where we were, but we're here, yo. Oh,
yes,
for sure.
So yeah, man, we'll when the episode comes out, we'll tag you and all that and send you everything about the episode. So just be on the lookout for that. We definitely got you, man.
Got you, man.
Yeah, it's totally.
All the best, yo.
All right, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Man.
Yes, sir.
All right, later.
All right, man.
Peace.
Have a good night, bro.
Later,
Yeah, good night, man.